The word excessive depends a lot on context. For instance, a 10,000 peso carbon-plated running shoe would be a bit much to get if you're just a beginner. But for a seasoned marathon runner, then yeah, game. In the same way, let's say a MacBook Pro M21 million, I don't know, would be a bit much if you're just using it for Google Docs. But for a video team that deals with 4K videos and needs it for rendering, then it's just right. The same can be said about cars. For instance, a full-size pickup truck on the freeways of the United States of America sounds just about right. But then when it comes to Philippine roads, it doesn't really make for a practical ride. So again, for context, it's a bit excessive. But then again, who gives a This, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2025 Ram 1500 Rebel, and it's as extra as you can get. You got twin turbos under the hood, huge tires, massive body, and a truckload of features. Practical? Yeah, maybe not. Excessive in the best of ways? Hell yeah, brother! Let's get into its price first, shall we? Whip out the AutoDeal app, available on iOS and Android, and it's absolutely free, unlike this Mama Jama right here that comes in at 5,250,000 Philippine pesos. Yowza. Although this is absolutely filled to the brim with features, if you think about it, there isn't another large engine, full-size pickup truck that's available in our market. The F-150 was available, and I'm sure Jack remembers that. Roll the clip. Oh my God. It's no longer available. So this is the only one that's available in our market now. Oh, thank goodness it's on struts, because I'm gonna have problems closing this. Underneath is the Hurricane 3-liter twin turbo inline 6 that produces 420 horses and 625 newton meters of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, there might be quite a few of you that are a bit disappointed understanding that this no longer comes with the V8 Hemi. However, I am here to tell you that worry not, because this produces more power and is actually more fuel efficient than the V8 Hemi. How fuel efficient? Well, stick around and find out, because we will take it out for a drive. Whether it's fuel efficient or maybe not so fuel efficient. You know what I mean?
Kaya mo yan.
Jack,
Kaya mo yan.
I can't. Is this
Kaya mo yan.
really? Oh, that's hot. Ah. I hate you. Most of the exterior look is actually pretty self-explanatory. The front clip is massive. The clamshell on the hood, this actually isn't necessary because there isn't a supercharger in there. And the vents that you see on the hood, it's more like just a design. But it's nice because it makes it look very intimidating, and I like it. The rest of the grille and the lights are all blacked out. I like it. Looks huge, looks large, looks wide. This bumper up front, good flex. It's metal. I love it. And then you've got 2 tow hooks up front to get you or somebody else out of trouble. Down the side, it's pretty standard for a pickup truck. You've got large side view mirrors, which house your repeaters, and you have your step board and also 220 millimeters of ground clearance. What I love about the side are the blacked out wheels, which look really, really good and are 18 inches, which are wrapped in all-terrain Goodyear tires that are 275/70s, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And behind them, you find equally large disc brakes, not just at the front, but at the rear too. Now, the bed of a pickup truck isn't the sexiest thing on the planet, but I don't think anyone is as tricked out as this Rebel right here. And I love it because first, Jack just basically controlled the opening of the tailgate, which is powered, by the way. Pretty awesome. You'll find dividers that are available for this Rebel model, and then rails on either side so that you can customize the compartments. If you want to, let's say, for example, hop into the bed, check this out, baby. Bam! Hop on in. Let's say, for example, you're doing things at night and you need a little bit of light. There are bed lights right here, left and right. And then there's another one here up on top that points down. Let's say you want to be able to get something from the inside. You can, because this right here, this window is powered. Yes, it does open up. When you get out of the bed and you need to close the tail, powered as well. It's ridiculous. This thing just kicks back in. If you have a trailer, the hitch is found right here, and then you've got ports here to control it electronically for the lights and whatnot. And if the bed isn't enough space for you for some strange reason, on either side of the vehicle you have this, which is called the Ram box. Is that amazing or what? You can put customized containers in here like a jerry can or boxes or whatnot. And it's perfect for the, let's say, for example, the minimum requirement fully automatic rifle that you need to defend yourself.
What?
Yeah, that's a minimum. Also, there is a 115-volt AC outlet that is available. And because this entire thing is plastic, which, by the way, has a drain plug on the bottom, that means you could theoretically fill this with ice and then put in all your beers in there for a perfect tailgate party. You can pick up a Bud Light, crack it open, keep one eye on the game and the other on your cousin.
Yo, what?
Too early in the morning, maybe two beers.
Oh my god.
You want a beer, Jack? Here.
I'm working.
Nah, nah. Onto the rear cabin. First, the door opens at almost 90 degrees, allowing for better ingress and egress from the vehicle, which is great. Much more space can be found underneath the bench. This is it right here, which can extend by ever so slightly so that anything that you put underneath won't slide underneath and you won't lose anything like the remote control in a couch kind of a thing or coins or whatnot. Then you can bring the seats down like so. And it is, as I mentioned, a bench, but this bench is like, darn it, it's huge. The amount of space is crazy too, because that's my normal driving position. Yes, I know I'm short, but just look at this. Look at this. It's like a sedan in here. Now, to fit 3 people back here really isn't going to be an issue because there is no center tunnel, and the space, the girth that you have here is just wow. Amazing. You have bottle holders found directly in front of you. There's 2 of them directly in front, and then there's 2 on the door. I'm going to try to fit Jack's bottle. That's not going to happen. That does happen. So I can put mine there and Jack's on the side. Beneath the cup holders, you have a small little cubby space. You have air vents for the left and the right. Hold them apart. No, I'm not going to go there. There are charging points as well. Here's the cool part. There are 2 Type A's and 2 Type C's. That's just for the rear passengers. There's only 3 people that are going to be back here, and yet there are 4 charging points, which is pretty cool. And then another 115-volt socket can be found here at the back. Plus, you have a center armrest with 2 cup holders. Storage galore and lights above you and a pair of speakers directly behind. It's the space back here that is really quite amazing. I mean, just that's the leg room, that's the headroom. Americans are very tall. As we get to the front seats, there are some surprising things, but not in the best of ways. Number 1 is there is no sunroof, and you'd expect it for a car of this size and this price. Number 2, there is no 360 camera, which is strange. For a car of this size, you'd think that you can get a 360 camera, but this one is inspected one. And number 3 is that the size of the glove box is kind of diminutive considering the size of the vehicle and the amount of cargo space that you have in this car. So it's like they went all out with everything else except for the glove box. Strange, but not really going to be a game changer because this car basically represents the American rule of law or the First Amendment, whatever it is that you want to call it. The bigger, the better. I'm sure I got my amendments wrong, but that's exactly what this car feels like. Because we'll start with the 14.4-inch touchscreen infotainment system that's found in the center. Massive, huge, kind of resembles a Ford. Anyway, you have air controls and audio controls that you can get to quite immediate, even though that it's a large touchscreen, which is nice because they're just easily found here on the sides. Underneath that, it's a ridiculous amount of USB charging points. There are 6 of them, 3 Type A and 3 Type C. Redonkulous. Just below that, you have wireless charging pads. Yes, pads, plural. There's 2 of them. And this center area that is so huge, I could fit Jack's head in there. Like, no, I exaggerate. But look, I can put that bottle in there. I can put that bottle in there. I can even put, if I move them down the side, I can even put that bottle in there. What else can I fit? You can put a radio in there. You can put a battery if you're going to be out in the field for extra charge. I'm going to give you your sunglass case and a camera because know you like taking pictures. Okay, Mr. Potato Head, you have a good time. Also, there is a tray that moves back and forth that has 2 cup holders and a lot of deep trays as well. This cover right here, which is already massive, not only does it reveal the center storage, but it also has, if you open the top part, it's got a small tray that you can fit your mobile phone if you wanted to, and another charging point. That's 7 in total. I haven't even counted the HDMI port that's available here. Yes, HDMI. Why HDMI? Because that connects to the passenger screen that's found here, which essentially means it's the smallest screen that your PS5 has ever seen. Or you can simplify your life and get yourself a Switch. Moving on to the instrument cluster of the driver. Wide, clear, bright, and very, very customizable. On the steering wheel, it's loaded with buttons. You've got your cruise controls on your right-hand side, and on the left side is not your audio controls, but rather your trip meter controls. Oddly enough, you'll find the audio controls behind you. So these are not paddles, they're audio controls there. This car also has Caco and Jack features, which means that if you're Jack, you can cruise control with adaptive cruise, and if you're Caco, you can cruise control without the adaptive cruise. See, it adapts to me, Jack. It's you adapt
know
to the
what? You should
car.
adapt to the times. You should try to get used to adaptive
The only
cruise.
adapting I want to do is getting
Whoa!
on the road, which we're going to do right now.
What was that?
That was something from 700 years ago. Before, you were still in diapers when it came out. Folks, do please consider subscribing to our channel because we create all these videos just for you guys. But right now, we're going to go out on the road and find out how fuel efficient or unfuel efficient, how comfortable or how uncomfortable this car is. Let's go.
You know what you did was a dab, not a dap.
You know,
You know
Jack,
what a dap is, right?
I'm like Eminem because I can rhyme things with orange in the same way I dab and dap at the same time. Bruv, keep up.
So dap me up and dab at the same time.
Oh!
You gotta dab. You gotta. Oh, there you go.
As we're rolling on the highway, I want to show you something, just exactly how big this car is. The interior space is just ridiculous. Look at how small I am and how far you guys are. Look, Jack's stretched hand. It barely touches me. That's how big this car is. The cabin is huge. The car itself is huge. Dimensions wise, it is roughly 5,900 millimeters long, 2,000 millimeters tall, 2,000 millimeters wide, and the wheelbase sits at about 3,700 millimeters. For comparison's sake, your average Ranger is 500 millimeters shorter in wheelbase. It's ridiculously how big this car is. I mean, it's like you're in a normal pickup truck looking down on a sedan. That's what I feel like when I'm looking at, let's say, for example, this Ranger right here beside me. It looks so tiny.
That's a Raptor even.
Oh, that's even a Raptor?
Look, we can't even see its hood line on deck. That's crazy.
It's so tiny. What I love about this car also is the power delivery is so smooth. You've got a 6-cylinder most definitely in front of you, but it's so smooth in the sense that you can drive it properly and not put your head back into the seat. But when you want to get racy with it, let's say for example you put it into sport mode and you jam the accelerator, it can get, bro, we're already at 100. Ooh, it can get burly at you. Yeah. Not only is the engine smooth, the transmission is smooth too. It rolls through the gears very smoothly. It never feels like it's fishing, or it never feels like it's hooked on something and it sort of like jams it into the transmission. I know that you guys who drive, let's say for example, PPVs that are diesel engines, you may have felt that where it kind of fishes and it kind of catches you off guard. Yeah, there's none of that in here. Thanks to the fact that there's also 620 plus or 620 newton meters of torque on this thing. Another takeaway is the NVH. The noise isolation inside this car is very good. It's a gasoline engine, so there's a lot less knocking. But the wind noise, even as we're traveling at 100 kilometers per hour, it's non-existent. And this thing is a brick. What gets you also is the tire noise. Now, I'm not going to say it's completely quiet. No, it does creep in. But here's the thing. We are on all-terrain tires. This in here sounds basically like what you will be in a Japanese pickup truck available in the Philippines that are on highway terrain tires. The noise is similar. That's just pretty darn good. The other edge of the sword, so to speak, is just exactly how quiet the engine is. Now, depending on who you are, you may want a little bit more grunt from your engine, a little bit more grunt in your exhaust, especially when you decide to put it onto sport mode. But there is none of that in here. It's quite quiet. If, however, you're an aftermarket person, I'm sure that you can put on exhausts and what else to put a bit more noise in here. I myself like it quiet. Jack, on the other hand, says he needs a little bit more noise. He needs a little bit more confirmation that he's driving something with a lot of grunt.
I mean, if I paid 5.2 million, I want to hear that thing roar, man.
Yeah, you do want to hear it roar. I hear you. But I like him quiet. It's because I'm submissive.
Yo, boss.
So the big question, which actually has a tiny answer, is fuel efficiency. On the highway, as we are right now, you're getting roughly about 10 kilometers per liter. Not so good. In the city, it sounds even funnier because you're getting about 4 kilometers per liter inside the city. Now, mind you, this is heavy traffic. Now, this may sound bad, yes, but imagine how much worse it could have been if they still had the Hemi on this. By the way, as I mentioned earlier, this inline 6 produces more horsepower and torque than the Hemi. And yet, that's better fuel efficiency. So 4 inside the city is still better than what? 2?
I mean, the Patrol V8 we had before did like 2.5.
2.5 at most. And that was during pandemic
that
days.
was like the funny story about that. We got that car at the peak of like most expensive fuel prices.
But the least amount of traffic inside the city.
Yeah, there you go.
Maneuverability of this car is surprisingly easy. The steering is very light, and you kind of expect it from large American cars, like for instance the Tahoe, which we have a review of. The links are somewhere down below. It's quite easy to get in and out of places. However, easy maneuverability is you still have to contend with its size. So when you're going around in the city and you're thinking about going to a particular parking garage or whatnot, it's just easier to say, yeah, no, I'm not gonna go there because I don't think I'm gonna fit. So that makes maneuverability really easy. Though I will not let go of the fact that this thing does not have a 360 camera. I mean, come on, you're talking about a car of the dimensions I already mentioned, something that weighs 3 tons heavy, and it doesn't have a 360 camera. Yeah, I'm not gonna let that one go.
The people in the comments will say, just be a better driver.
You drive this thing backwards into a parking slot. Now, let's see.
A Filipino-sized parking slot with a person standing on it.
Guarding it like that, diba? Like that meme guy that stands like this.
Eyes on the road!
Sorry, hands on the wheel. What you do get with that 5.2 plus million Philippine pesos is not 10, not 11, not even 15, but a 19 Harman Kardon speaker system. And boy, is it powerful. A bit powerful on the bass for someone like me who already loves bass, but it's just wildly powerful.
At least you know you get your money's worth.
You do, man.
It's big. Everybody likes it big, you know. Ooh, bigger, better.
America. Jack asked me a hypothetical question earlier, and that was if I had won the lottery, would a car like this even be in my stable? And the truth is, I'd answer yes. It would be one of my many cars in my stable that I would gladly use if I were to say, for example, surveying my land, my hacienda. I wouldn't exactly use it to move plywood or 2x4s or like barrels of hay or let's say sacks of sugarcane. No, I wouldn't. But I'd use it, like I said, to oversee everything. The only thing maybe I'd move in this thing are my toys, would be like my Harley Davidson, my ATVs, or my gold bullion, or my barrels of oil, stuff like that.
I don't think the barrels of oil and gold are like actual things you hold.
Buddy, I have no idea. I haven't won the lottery and I ain't rich, so I'm just speculating here.
This by no means is a bargain. It really wasn't meant to be. But it's a full-on, full-size pickup truck experience. It's got tons of power, tons of tech, tons of feature, tons of girth, my God. But surprisingly, it can be tame when you want it to be. At this price point, efficiency is like out the door. You can't even see it. But it's a fair trade-off for what you get, which is a unique experience that you can't get anywhere else. Well, that is, of course, for the meantime.